Hi there, and welcome to She Spice. So you realize how there's been a ton of discussion about this entire thing in Hollywood. It truly resembles each other. It seems like each other day there's some new VIP made up for lost time in it. However, here's the kicker. It seems like the people within who truly understand what's going down are tired. Like taking care of what they're yelling from the roofs, nothing more will be tolerated. Now, word on the road is that Jason Momoa, definitely Aquaman himself, is, as far as anyone knows, driving the charge on this entire getting down on mission, and get this, he's obviously not beating around the bush. Supposedly, he's pointing fingers at, but as a matter of fact, Oprah and the Stone as the hotshots behind the entire renouncing wreck. Oprah's name springing up probably won't be a stunner to a few of us. I mean, we've heard murmurs previously about her purportedly tossing Torquays into individuals' vocations. However, the Stone, that is a curve. However, at that point again, when you consider it the Stone and Oprah, they're tight. So perhaps it isn't so outlandish, and in the event that somebody is persuasive. As Jason Momoa is moving forward to offer something, well, perhaps there's a reality to everything. So we should make a plunge. So you're most likely asking why Jason Momoa is out of nowhere, the frontman are broadcasting out this show, including his partner in Oprah right leading. There's been some serious tattle twirling about Jason, and the Stone having somewhat of a hamburger, and everything returns to the quick and irate establishment, you know, that high-power series that simply continues to produce. Motion pictures better believe it that one, so Jason hops in with the general mishmash as the troublemaker in Quick X, which dropped back in May 2023. Individuals were digging his job as Dante Reyes, that enormous baddie of the most recent portion, yet here's where it gets fascinating. People were missing Dwayne Johnson's personality Luke Hobbs, and some web detective begun coming to an obvious conclusion. See, there's been this continuous quiet standoff between Vin Diesel and the Stone and some figure. That is the reason the Stone was MIA for the 10th and 10th flicks. Currently picture this: Jason venturing into the bad guy role, taking a portion of that spotlight. Normally tongues began swaying, bits of gossip began flying that perhaps, quite possibly, there's some terrible blood preparing between the Stone and Momoa over this entire thing. Sure, neither of them emerged and spilled the tea on any quarrel they could have fermenting yet. Is the reason Jason's not keeping down, currently getting down on the Stone yet? What's going on with the Stone, and how did his name end up in this blend? Now Dwayne the Stone Johnson is a name that rings chime both in the wrestling ring and in the cinema. This buddy's journey from body-hammering rivals in the WWE to ruling Hollywood is completely epic, and better believe it, he's known for his awesome persona. However, what, as a matter of fact, separates him is his drive and versatility. I mean, consider that the Stones have been in a few genuinely high-end establishments like Quick and Enraged, and he even got his own side project film Hobbs and Shaw. In addition, he's not just about activity flicks. He has that delicate side, also voicing Maui and Moana and winning hearts wherever. Even a uber star like the Stone isn't resistant to some serious show. Back in 2023, he ended up in the center of a legitimate tempest with an astounding $3 billion due claim on his hands. Better believe it. You heard that right? $3 billion. So what's the arrangement? Well, everything began when a previous grappler named Transisha Biggers, also known as Tranisha Roque, and dropped this sensation claim guaranteeing the Stone. And a lot of different people were engaged in some wild grabbing plot. Obviously, this lawful confrontation didn't simply cause disturbances in Hollywood. It had legitimate falcons scratching their heads too. I mean, $3 billion is no little change, and when a major name like The Rock is involved, you know it will be headline news. This entire adventure had everybody stuck to their screens watching to perceive how everything worked out and how it affected in the Stone's immaculate picture. Different litigants incorporated various other undeniably popular games and heroes, including Billy Corgan of the Crushing Pumpkins. What's more, b-ball legend Michael Jordan anyway. The claim focused on allegations of capturing brought up a few issues with respect to the legitimacy and inspirations driving these cases. Grader's charges propose a complicated plot. including Johnson and his ex-colleague Dany Garcia evidently conspiring to snatch her and her kids. However, here's where it gets much more serious. This entire wreck dates back to 2019, including some untidy guardianship stuff. Biggers says she got captured and afterward, bam, before she knows it, she's supposedly confronting dangers and getting help. She's pointing fingers at Johnson and his group, saying they recruited individuals to whisk her away from her home in Florida to Miami, and now the Stone and Garcia, they're showing up. Cocked and locked, denying each last piece of it through their lawful group. They're yelling from the roofs, "We didn't have anything to do with it," and hello, the court even supported them up, excusing ever. Thing in June 2023, they said the cases didn't stand up to anything and needed proof. Yet here's the kicker: a few people out there are as yet saying there may be more going on. They're murmuring that perhaps the Stone utilized his Hollywood clout to wriggle right out of this wreck. And there's the kinship between the Stone and Oprah. These two have been tight for a very long time, with the Stone in any event saying Oprah is like family to him. They've, for the most part, kept their bond calm, yet they've collaborated on a lot of stuff like that Super Bowl business that had everybody humming, except here's where things get a piece chaotic. A few people out there are saying their companionship isn't all rainbows and unicorns. Like, take this help asset they set up for Maui, rapidly spreading fire. Casualties fans weren't excessively excited, saying they ought to have hit up their VIP buddies for cash, as opposed to asking the public currently whether we should plunge into the assumption. Obscure arrangements begin with the entire show behind the purple film, and the allegations are flying. Quick and incensed, from getting lowballed on pay to being left for all intents and purposes starving on set. Could you at any point accept it? And here's the kicker: they're dishing that Oprah made them journey to set for insane extended periods of time consistently with no security. And they needed to get into a similar trailer holdup. However, wasn't the spending plan for Purple an astounding $100 million? Where did all that money evaporate? So we should separate them. How on earth did Oprah join to create an undertaking where these gifted dark entertainers were supposedly dealt with like peasants? It's a head-scratcher. Without a doubt, certain individuals are in any event, involving Denzel Washington as an illustration. A man who has forever been a lifelong fan of dark ability in the business. Have you at any point stood by listening to him discuss prejudice? The man's enthusiasm is obvious. He sees through the disarray and misinformed thoughts. Standing tall for what's at that moment, she's not displaying her abundance like it's a considerate demonstration of some sort or another. However, when you take a gander at Denzel, you see genuine devotion. I mean, simply see his work with saving Africa's kids. The person's responsibility says a lot. He won't hesitate to get down on the weird stuff in Hollywood, even assuming it implies making huge efforts like Oprah, and there are even murmurs that Oprah could have attempted to screw with Denzel. Also, might you at any point trust it? However, hello, she can attempt all she needs, cause with regards to Denzel, she's playing with some unacceptable person. Currently, how about we dive into a few different entertainers who've probably tangled with Oprah. She didn't keep down spilling the tea about out-of-line pay and nearly leaving the venture purple as per her. It was a genuine fight for a few things, from getting a protected ride with a driver rather than a rental vehicle in Atlanta to simply a turn. The bits of hearsay are whirling that Oprah may have gone off on Taraji and faulted her for causing Purple to flounder pitiably in the cinema world in the event that you didn't have a clue about Tap. He Film scarcely made portion of its $140 million financial plan, in spite of delivering over 2 months prior with a ton of promotion. So as per most recent reports, the film previously went computerized because of its awful presentation in the cinematic world, and every one of us. The makers are currently probably accusing Taraji and everything that she expressed at the limited time visit making the film bomb now, when Taraji at first began standing up and getting down on the beast Oprah and the makers of Tap. He Film put her through UPR, attempted to cause some harm control. However, no part of that truly worked out, on the grounds that, as per sources, a few Hollywood leaders and Oprah are as of now intending to debase Taraji for getting them lose such a lot of money because of the terrible exposure that she gave the film, with every last bit of her tirades about pay imbalance currently. How about we separate the most recent show on Purple front? The change is in the possession of big shots like Oprah Harpo Films. Steven Spielberg's Amblin Diversion SGS Pictures and Quincy Jones Creations are similar forces to be reckoned with that presented to us in the 1985 transformation, with Oprah herself shaking the job of Sophia. Quick forward to the new version, where Danielle Streams moves into the shoes of Hero, C. Harris and Taraji possesses the stage as Sugg Avery. Currently, here's the kicker, you'd expect that with Taraji, an old pro with over 20 years in the game and a prize case brimming with grants. Fair compensation wouldn't be a fight, particularly in a flick like Purple where the protagonist is wearing the maker cap yet shocked. Taraji spilled the tea that Oppo didn't precisely get it done for her or the other directing women when it came to the check. As per Taraji, the underlying deal was out and out insolent, and the big cheeses wouldn't move until she set out the final proposal of. Subscribe She Spice for more videos.